Our mission is to help you learn the English language. We have created easy-to-follow, free educational materials for those seeking knowledge of English.
I've heard so much about Japan. Is it a beautiful country?
Not everyone thinks Japan is beautiful, but to me its beauty is breathtaking. You feel the same way about France, don't you?
Yes, I do feel the same way about France. The swift rivers, the fertile valleys, the large cities, its scenery is beautiful. Will you describe the geography of Japan?
Well, it's made up of 4 large islands and many smaller islands located off the coast of the Asian mainlands. France isn't an island, is it?
Oh, no, France isn't an island. It is located in the western part of the European continent. But France does have many fine harbors and port cities on its southern and western coasts. Does Japan have good harbors?
Good harbors. Yokohama is one of the most famous port cities in the world, and Japan is the largest shipbuilding nation in the world. Also, there are long mountain ranges in the southern as Han's. France isn't very mountainous, is it?
No, France isn't very mountainous. But it does contain the Pyrenees, a large mountain range with high peaks and deep canyons. What kind of climate does Japan have?
The Japanese climate is warm and moist in the south, mild in the central part and cold in the north. Except for Hokkaido, we don't get much snowfall at all. France has a mild climate, doesn't it?
Yes, the climate of France rarely has severe winters. In southern France, one can live in comfort the whole year. Is Japan good for farming?
Yes, Japan is good for farming. Rice is the main crop, but Japan is also an industrial center. Fishing is very important, too. Rice isn't grown in France, is it?
No, rice isn't grown in France. But farming, fishing and industry are also very important in France. I'd like to go to Japan someday. Would you like to visit France?
Yes, I'd like to visit France. I'd like to travel all over the world. As you describe it, France seems to be very much like Japan. I would like to see it for myself.
I'm happy to see you again.
Me too.
We should do this more often.
Okay, I'll give you a ring next week.
What's your number?
I'm number 7. What about you?
5.
Ha ha. You have to go before me.
You think it's funny. I'm terrified.
Don't worry. It's safe.
But I've never jumped off anything in my life. The highest thing I've jumped off is my bed. I'm scared.
You are the one who wanted to come here, Sandy. You should enjoy it.
I guess I'm adventuresome, but then I'm scared too.
I'm not too scared, but I've done skydiving before.
Ah, what a fine day. I do feel like an outdoor exercise.
How about taking a walk in the park?
Okay, it's delightful to have a walk in the park with the air so fresh.
Oh, it's so quiet here. We have the park to ourselves, only you and me.
Don't you see many people over there? Just on your left.
Oh, I see them. Some are doing Taijiquan. Some are performing swordplay. Some are practicing the Chinese wushu.
A growing keep fit fever is sweeping over China. Do you like to dance?
Sometimes, if there's music playing.
What kind of dancing do you like?
It all depends. If it's rock music, I'll do disco. And if it's romantic music, I'll do ballet.
How did you get around over there? Did you rent cars?
No, that would be too expensive. We used the train system. We bought a special pass called a N-Rail Pass. It lets people use the train wherever they want, as often as they want.
I've heard about N-Rail passes. So those Europeans really depend on trains a lot.
Yes, they do. I wish we Americans had a better train system.
I know. Our train system is lousy. And besides, Americans love their cars too much.
I agree. And probably the automobile companies are too powerful. They never allowed the government to develop trains.
It's too bad for the environment. So much pollution from cars.
Americans love cars for different reasons, I think. One reason is that we are very individualistic. And cars are a very individual way of getting around. Americans like the freedom of driving around by themselves. They don't want to ride in a train or bus with a group of people.
Yes, I agree. I think it is a cultural characteristic. It would be very hard to get us Americans to change this. But you know what? Probably, in the future, Americans will have to change.
Why do you say, have to?
Because the Earth's environment can't tolerate cars forever. I think cars are already causing global warming. When the problem gets more serious, world governments will have to start limiting car use.
Maybe you're right. They will have to develop alternative transportation. But it will be hard in America. Too many people are used to cars. Even in our movies, cars are very important.
Wow, I didn't notice the time. It's almost noon. I have to get home.
Do you want me to give you a ride?
No, no problem. I have my car in the parking ramp around the corner.
All right, well, I'll stay here and have another coffee. Nice running into you.
See you around.
Oh, honey, you came. I'm so glad. Why are you wearing a bonnet?
Just for fun. Happy Easter, Mom. We got you these Easter lilies.
They're beautiful. Taylor, you're so pale and skinny.
Of course I'm pale. It's just now the beginning of spring. I don't have my summer tan yet.
I guess. Are you sure you're taking care of yourself?
I'm fine, Mom. Remember Holly? This is her roommate, Yi Jun.
Good evening, sir. What can I do for you?
Bourbon, please.
How would you like your bourbon, straight or on the rock?
With iced water, please.
Here you are, sir. Bourbon with iced water.
Thank you. Now how much do I owe you?
The bourbon is $15 plus 10% service charge. So the total is $16.50.
That is okay. Here is $20 and you can keep the change.
Thanks a lot. What are your hobbies, Mr. Green?
I like collecting stamps.
But it's an expensive hobby, isn't it?
Yes, you're right. What do you like to do in your spare time?
I usually play chess with my friends. But I like playing basketball best.
Do you play basketball well?
No, I'm not very good at it. I play just for the fun of it.
Shall we have a game together someday?
Okay, that'd be very nice.
Mike has changed much after marriage.
Yeah, he's almost become a slave. His wife is leading him by the nose.
It's unbelievable. He used to be such a rough guy. Oh, I must have been sitting in the same position too long. My legs have fallen asleep.
Shift it a little before you get up.
And I need to stretch my legs now. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Sit down, please. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Very well too. Thank you very much. Isn't it a lovely day?
Yes, it's beautiful, but it's also very hot.
Yes.
What's the weather like in your country?
It's quite warm now.
Where do you live?
In London. Where do you live?
Here, near this school.
Is learning the English language your toughest challenge yet? Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials.